Okay, so this topic is called odds for versus against. So odds in favor is the ratio of probability that event will occur to the probability that the event will not occur. So it'll be written like that. How many times will it occur to how many times it will not occur. And when you write the odds against something, then you're going to write it how many times it will not occur to the ratio of how many times it will occur. Okay, so we have a card question. So I gave you a card sample space so you can look at it. Okay, so Sally is holding all of the hearts. So this is what she has in her hand. She just has these 13 cards in her hand, okay? Hearts. Determine the odds in favor of her choosing a face card. So out of all of these hearts, how many of those, actually how many hearts are there in a deck? Does anybody know that number? How many hearts are there? How many diamonds are there? How many of each one of them are there? How many hearts, or how many cards are there altogether? 52. Divided by 4 means there's 13 of each. Okay, so in favor of getting a face card, how many of those hearts are face cards? 3. There's a jack, a queen, and a king. So 3 are face cards. How many of those hearts are not face cards then? 10. Okay, number 2. The probability of an expecting mother to have twins is 1 out of 32. What are the odds in favor of the mother having twins? Okay, so how many times would a mother have twins? 1. How many times will a mother not have twins? 31. Okay, because there's 32 altogether. Just like, look at this. 3 and 10, there's 13 cards altogether, right? So if you wanted to write, it says, what are the odds against? Then that would just be written in the opposite order. That's what that would mean. Okay, number 3. A computer is randomly selecting a student for a $100 gift card. The odds against the student being male so if it's the odds against, then this would say not male, and this would say that they are male. So the odds against means that this one is not that, and this one is that. Determine the probability that the student is male. Okay, so how many males do we have? 43 out of how many altogether? So you'd have to add that up, which is 100. So now that's the probability. So these two numbers always should add up to the total possibilities. And when you do probability, you're always doing it out of a total possible. Okay, so a hockey game ended in a tie. They have to do a shootout. The coach is trying to pick Ellen or Brittany to do the first shot. The coach prefers to use her best scorer first. So who should go first? Okay, so Ellen, 8 out of 13. And Brittany scored 10 out of 17. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put those as decimals because that's hard for me to compare those fractions. So I'm going to just change them both to decimals. So who should the coach pick? He'll want Ellen to go first. Ellen has a better probability. Okay, 2 more questions. There is a carnival happening and some students created a dice game called BIM and they created a card game called Zap. The odds against winning BIM are 5 to 2. The odds against winning. So, this is them not winning. So, they're going to not win 5 times and they're going to win 2 times. So, what's the probability that they would win? 2 out of 7. I'm just going to move that to a decimal, 0.286 when I divide it. Okay, now the other game is Zap. The odds against winning, so this is going to be the not winning and this would be the win. What's the probability that they would win Zap? 3 out of 10, which is 0.3. So this one has a better chance of winning.
How do you know when to add it?
When you have to do a probability. Because a probability is always out of a total. Because there's 7 times you're going to lose and 3 times you're going to win. So how many times did you play it all together? 10.
It's probably even matter.
Right.
The difference is
Yeah, you have to figure out the probability on this one to see which one is a better chance. Okay. The chance of rain this weekend is 80%. What are the odds in favor of having rain? Okay, what does 80% mean to you? Can you make it into a fraction? What would you do as a fraction? 80 over 100. Okay, so the chance of rain is 80%. So 80 times it will rain. 80 out of 100 times it will rain, which means how many times will it not rain if I was to give you 100 days, 100 chances? It will be a 20.
You do it backwards. What's in favor of not having?
Okay, so now let's write this answer. What are the odds in favor of not having rain? So this is kind of backwards, right? You want to not have rain, so 20 to 80. So then it would be a 1 to 4. Okay? So doing odds in favor against, you're taking the total and subtracting to get the 20. But sometimes I give you this, and then you have to add when you want to get the probability.